The hell? Ah, Mike, Mike is on. Technical fucking difficulties. Man, hit me with the request. What's up? Happy Sunday. All right. Under a neon moon. Okay. Oh my God. My bad. AMD at Potter Box, or did I do it wrong? We'll find out here shortly, brother. Find out here shortly. Yeah, see that. One of these days I'm gonna have it so you guys can put the music on, but I don't know if that's gonna work out too good. What's up, yo? What's up? Good evening. The lights of a Leon moon. Gotta get a little. This is when country was banging, dude. Reba McEntire was crushing. You know what I'm talking about? What's up, y'all? Good afternoon. Is SoFi happening? I have no information on that, man, but I certainly hope so. Put Rashad on no hillbilly tubes. Man, we gotta have a little balance. Gotta have a little balance, man. I'm pouring a good one. Cheers, brother. Why did my ship just freeze? This song reminds me of my ex girlfriend. I'm gonna go drink one right now. Man, Susan would approve. All right, I'm shutting it off now. I love you guys. Oh God, you guys have no idea. I love having my cousin in here, man. It makes it feel like home, dude. All right, boys, ladies. Let me get the OBS in. Make sure everybody's locked in here. And I have been busy as hell, so we're gonna go through your guys' request, and I'll have to do some exterior charting tonight. But it doesn't look like futures are really doing much of anything, so we don't really have anything to go off of. Hmm. Hold on 1 second. Hey, man, I got a wide variety of music taste. All right. You said, well, W streaming consistency. Thank you, man. Man, they worse, Ashley. Yeah. Here in deep thinking mode, bro. I was trying to figure something out. All right, here we go. All right. We're live, and this is your Sunday prep. And as per usual, I'm going to walk you guys through the opens on all three of our ETFs, and then we shall progress into taking a look across the market to see if we can add anything to the watch list. I'm going to be managing some small accounts this week, managing some runner positions. And the last couple of weeks, the watch list have fucking slapped. So I'll let you guys know, okay? And this is this is where, a lot of people are like, I missed this one. When you see me point one out, and I'm like, this is the one. Let's kiss it. Write that down. Everybody have notebooks? Send pictures of your notebook in the chat right now. This is my notebook. Look at that. It's got a G on the side. It's not for Garrett. That's okay. All right. You need Oasis with them glasses. Yeah. Just signed up for the workshop. Hell yeah, Darth. Oh, hell. Dude, Darth, you've been watching for a while, man. Dude, we had somebody buy the lifetime subscription just to tip me. I've never seen that before. I mean, people have done it before. But they were like, but yeah, dude, I was blown away. Crazy. All right, guys. Anyway, the NQ open, and I'll go over the data here in just a second. But the NQ ES open so far, no life, right? Nothing here to let us know whether price is going to escape. I would say at the moment that this floor has held pretty strong. So future traders, if you are trading futures, I got a little, well, honestly, just if you're looking at the open, I got a couple of words for you. This floor in particular has been one hell of a floor. I mean, and here's what I will tell you guys going into this week. I am short, no brainer, right? But I am short if we lose that floor. However, sellers are not doing their job. After that candle alone on this 8-hour time frame, we should have seen something. Resilience wins, right? If you're unwilling to give up that floor. So future traders, keep an eye on this 50% market, basically 29,563 breaking, and you got a beautiful upside trade. And the potential here, I think, is, again, buyers are always going to try to set up control, and it may look like something like that. G for, oh, hey, Papa. Now going into the ES open, folks. Not as clean, not as crispy, but we are, again, just as we are on NQ, trying to bang up, right? Very clearly that floor, we have been unable to grab that, and you can see that translated down as you move further. Now, I will say ES is getting heavy under the floor, right? And this shows that sellers are definitely trying to push this lower. So we'll see if any sort of news comes in and causes a punch down under this weak ES floor, driving us lower for a bounce right around 76.40 or 50, which actually, if you're trading futures, would be a likely target. On the contrary, again, because I'm not really going to be trading this one this week, say for maybe a day trader or two here and there, it'll be this box or this range actually at 77.40. That would be that punch back up into the 7,800. So again, you don't have to have a bias. You just have to react accordingly, right? Having a biased, actually, I think biases are stupid when you're stuck in a range, right? If you have not decided or you are still fighting for a floor, you can wait, you can read and react. Now, of course, we're bearish, but I'm not going to get tied to that because, of course, we are bouncing on a reasonable floor. All right, RTY is another tasty one. I'm going to take your guys' request in just a minute. Be patient. Wait, what happened to music? Oh, we're just listening to some quiet shit. I need some of that. I need some of that. Some of this. I need some of that. Give me this. All right. RTY has a trash hot dog water open with really no, you had a really good bounce up, but I will tell you this, futures traders or IWM traders, that's going to be a nice little juicy pocket with an overhead wick to clear at that 30.26. We can look for a break into the upside at 30.40. So yes, I am recording this. This will be posted on YouTube. So if your request if you drop your request and want to watch that back or go through the watch anyway. Um, yeah, market pump tomorrow. Well, I think that's what's up for debate right now because sellers are not doing what they're. So it's very simple, guys. When we fall, bounce back up, this is where you're going to see sellers step up, and this is where price is likely going to fall. The harder they fight and the less they're able to accomplish, you can even see right there, a clean bounce off of that 3016, the higher the probability is that you're going to rip up into the empty space that they're trying to keep you from going because they know that's where price is going to go. Now, it's in layman's terms, but it is, again, how price will likely move. So you could see that pop back up and that stay while it stays in range. So, yes, YouTube channel is Potter Stocks Trading. Oh, Dingus, you've never pulled any money out of the market, so pipe down there, buddy. Don't you have a honey pot to protect or something, brother? All right, so that's all 3 ETFs. Now, I'm going to let you guys know right now, I'm not trading them, right? The analysis on this is we don't have conviction. We don't have, now you can pick a side if you'd like, but don't get married to it. That being said, you know, we'll see what this looks like tomorrow and what sort of catalyst have fired off. Now, for next week, I went over this on Friday, and again, I recommend you watching Friday's live back, just so you can get a kind of breakdown. A lot of other requests that I may not get to tonight that you could take advantage of. So Monday, Treasury Secretary, that's tomorrow. Bessent is going to be speaking. Tuesday, CB Consumer Confidence. Core PCC price index is coming in as well. Preliminary GDP quarter over quarter. Unemployment claims. Jackson Hole Symposium on Thursday. Fed Chair Walsh is speaking. Preliminary benchmark payroll revision. University of Michigan is piping in, and we have another Jackson Hole Symposium. So, all right, so pretty decent week as far as not earnings. And I believe we did see we went over the earnings chart on Friday. So I think if you go watch that live back, we went over that. Now, I want to go ahead, and I know that everybody's going to be looking at Meta because we talked about it. Now, I want to just say this. Yes, it has a sweet box pause, but it does. It has a great area of consolidation, similar to previous areas of consolidation, even if you go and look at the time and date range. So this is one that I will be taking very low risk, high reward contracts. And some of you guys, I think, may have already done that. But we can say that Meta, if anything, had resilience when it came to the close. And so next, I was going to say next Monday, but this Monday, we're going to be looking for this to potentially push up with a midterm target of 565, but the target being 577. So it's not bad, right? It is compressed in a way where I wouldn't expect that move to be much further than the box up above us. So we'll limit it to maybe 590 runners. Yes, he is Zuckerberg. That's why yes, he is. But we got to steal that money. And again, remember where we're bouncing off of. If you look at the 4 hour, we're sitting at that 542. So it's a small, again, not my main watch list, but it's off to the side as a potential day trade for me going into Monday. So want to give you guys an update on a few things. Silver, if you are still holding silver with me from those leaps at the bottom, made a really nice target here of 63. Hoping that we can punt, not hoping, but I'm looking for price to potentially punch back this week. And again, you can go look at silver futures if you'd like, but that'll be 64.40. I look fly tonight. What the hell? Prove you're competent. Podingus, listen, shh. You came in way too late into my career to talk shit, brother. That's all the attention I'm going to give you. My little Pooh Bear. All right, if you guys have any requests, I've been busy today, so I haven't been able to go through the charts. If you guys have any requests, drop them. I will be writing down the ones that I like, that I think are the highest probability, cleanest empty space, highest level of contraction. What's the watch list? We're building it. You're here, brother. We're about to go find some bangers. Walmart. And again, I'm going to make this quick. Now, this was already a banger. This is 1,000%. Well, 989% for me. But for Raymond, he got 1,000% on this one. A couple of you guys were able to bang a sweet trade to the floor and beyond. And now we're getting into levels where I'm going to step back here to the weekly. where we see some really clean overhead, right? That's where we landed. And that's obviously where we're going to want to bounce. And yes, this could be very much a candidate to potentially do that. But can we do that just looking at the 24-hour time frame and just say, yeah, it looks good? No, it doesn't, right? If we want to play the bounce, we got to dig deeper. So you've got as soon as you step down, guys, take a look. Immediately, it does what it needs to do. We've got a box. And if we have some sort of range, we have the ability to set stop losses on floors, on ceilings, when we take our positions. So that way, if we do decide to take those, it's not high conviction if it's not building a decent box, right? And a lot of the times, something like Walmart coming off of earnings still has that residual volume where you'll see price pop up pretty fluidly. But just in case we stair step our way up, it'd be good to have a solid stop loss like that. So 8 hour looks good with a 104.23 crossing. That's going to translate well down to the 4 hour. That's going to translate well down to the 2 hour. And what does that mean, right? As I move down to lower time frames, these are now acceptable candle closes for me to take that position. I go to the hourly, same thing, right? We're looking pretty decent. We're going to go to the 30-minute. Now, this is where it changes, right? This is where those small gears are going to start revealing themselves. And while we have a pretty nice area of consolidation that looks like we're actually very likely to try to push through, we can also look to our left and notice that there is pretty Howard Stern if he was a trader. I love it. But yeah, this is going to be one where you're looking for this type of price action, right? Where you start to see these wicks and we'll zoom down again. And here's our blueprint, right? Now we can start actually encapsulating that lower time frame price in order to be able to place price targets and say, if this, then that, right? So here we go, right? If this 104.23, then we get that, which is 105.50, which is also a psychological number. Now, this isn't anything that's distinguishable like it is here, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, that's a box. This is just a flat area of candles, so it gets called a range. But if we drop to the 5, right, more than likely, maybe not so likely, actually, oh my God, that's pretty perverse. Very interesting. So the level will stay at 105, but it will remain a range. Period. End of story. It will remain a range. And unfortunately, you're going to have to add a level here, which could be a late entry, but 104.63. But plain and simple, I would say the 15-minute to the 8 hour are the cleanest areas to navigate this trade. And what you're going to want to reclaim in order to keep moving up is going to be this area of consolidation directly above. So anyway, check that out. That's not a bad setup. I think I might actually keep my eyes on this one. It does make the watch list this week. Damn, that's a big pin tip, boy. That's what she said. But damn, that's chunky. Look at that thing. It's not that big. It's big if you're looking at it up close. Also, probably what she says. Maybe what she did say. Oh, I got money in here. What am I listening to right now? I'm looking for a pen, a better one. I have a purple pen. Everything feels the same in the dark. Hold on, brother. I'm gonna need you to slow on down, okay? Walmart likely will be pretty cheap. Hot, you look handsome this fine evening. Good heavens, what's going on? I would love to see gold if you don't mind. Shit, me too, Principal Patterson. Every time Principal Patterson comes into this live, I feel a wave of relief, a wave of tension just melts off of my shoulders from all the times I visited principals when I was in school. Now I've got one on my side. You said the wind? Yeah. My hair does this just all the time. No, in elevators and everything. It's crazy. Especially when I start to cook. Potter es muy hermosa. Hermano, dude. What the fuck? All right, so we'll take a look at gold really quickly. And this is actually Principal Patterson, one that a lot of people in the Discord are holding successfully out of again, what do we trade out of, folks? Boxes. Very simple, but we got a pretty clean bounce out of that box. But as for right now, one of the main floors that I'm looking to reclaim, because there is some pretty golden opportunities for gold to get up into the 460 level if you're looking at GLD, and that's going to be by the punchback over 437. So, all right, Pop, I love how you have a fan hitting your face and you can see your hair fly. Pun intended. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see. What else? Keep dropping your requests. Are you still looking at space? This is one that I think that's just going to end up squeezing out, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think that is some, and I know that's very vague and it really doesn't help anybody. But it is something that you can repetitively go and look back at the where it goes. Even if you look right here, right, flat pop, right. Eventually, it runs out of room to go down, and I think that's kind of what you're looking at here. But unfortunately, you know, even small triggers like this holding you back is likely going to drive price down before it drives price up. But the reason I have that idea that price will squeeze, and I think 615 will be that squeeze target, and these two boxes will be those triggers, which again, you are rejecting or pushing through, trying to push through, excuse me. And I think that's, I don't think, excuse me, I know it is 341, 371, and 394, and I think you'll, with the right price action, that could, it's extremely low risk, but obviously I can see you through my screen. I think that's how this is intended to work. That's good. That's good. All right, I am still, let's see, iBit. Dude, you guys, surprised you guys want another bite. Damn, look at you guys. My hungry little crypto guys. As far as I know, is crypto still ripping? How's a little Bitcoin? Ooh, still stuck. Okay. So that's, again, you have identical setups between iBit. No kidding, right? But you have identical setups, right? Same box, same shit. So the question is, or not the question, but the task is watch Bitcoin and, excuse me, look for $46 to break. And then, you know, the world could be your oyster. Maybe not. Pretty scared to eat oysters nowadays, though. 4840. 300 people. Where'd you guys come from? I'm so glad that you guys are showing up on Sundays, though, because this is the most important day. The most important day. S-Nut? No, D-Nut. S-Nut is classified. We don't talk about that one. Yeah, I actually own a decent lot of shares on D-Nut, and I am looking for a 24-hour punchback and move over 375 for a 421 target. Now, one day, and this is what I'm holding these shares for and nothing else. And there is, you know, again, a low risk position with potential high reward at an 850 target if we're using my system. But obviously that's going to require a 461 break. I just had the best oysters yesterday. These southeastern oysters starting to scare me, brother. Starting to scare me. What do I think about Irene? She's a good kisser. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, you got some empty space in here. You've got an overhead target. But you know, how you react to certain things, getting pulled back underneath like this, it's all going to be dictated by your ability to not fall. I know that sounds so stupid, but it's like you're sitting on top of the volume that's meant to keep you up. So 39.64, and this could all go out the window. If you can flip that wick at 45.75, I have no doubt that you could see a really nice move to 58. That one's not going to the watch list, but and by the way, if you do drop your request, tell me which direction, okay, up or down, because otherwise I'm just going to give you some bilateral analysis. Yeah, so Lemonade is in our cup going into this week. So if you haven't written that one down, obviously, I don't want to say, you know, maybe, might be, we'll see what it does over the week, overnight. But yeah, this one's looking good to go and try and break over the top. We're going to look for 55 to break. And ultimately, the target on Lemonade, which has been pretty rewarding in the past, is going to be a $60 run. Is what we're looking for. And yeah, like I said, the spreads are pretty yucky on them, but we found our way, weaseled our way into some decent contracts. The floors that you lost, you reclaimed and you held. That's something, you know, something pretty fire to see whenever you bounce off of the floors. And so, yeah, we're looking for a break over that overhead. Looks good. Looks good. People's dilated. I'm floating. MP up long term. Yes. I mean, as far as long term, there is empty space all the way up to the top, right? But as of right now, I see an empty space target in the 70s. And if you look at the 8 hour, it's stupid clear. And again, empty space for those of you who are like, what the are you talking about? Do you see how it falls fast? So this green candle will be your first target. If you can hold or pass that green candle, you'd be looking up at 71.83. So it's not bad. It's not bad. How many days out are your contracts? My contracts can vary, man. It all depends on the setup. So something like, okay, you know what? Rather than leaving you in wonder, I'll answer this question right now. And I'm sure there's some of you guys who have the same question. How many days are my contracts? Well, it all depends on the chart that I see, right? This is probably cleaner on the weekly where I can consolidate all of that mess into a nice little neat box, right? Where we're up against the cost basis mark. And I want to see this one obviously break out of its little downtrend here that has been operating in for quite some time, having gone and pulled back, retested good volume, and now pulled yourself up to the floor. The weekly time frame, right, doesn't necessarily show us the same empty space, but looking for even the top, right, I would have this cost basis to break, so a week, and then here, this overhead would likely call for another 2 weeks. If I'm looking to take this one up all the way to 82.77, I'm probably going to have to be out at least a month to 2 months in order to capture that without being. So one thing I want you guys to remember is there's a balance between shorter and longer expirations. If I'm going longer, and I mean weekly or even like MP wise, so like let's look at this a little deeper, but there's empty space, you know, technically all the way up to the top. So if I wanted to take this one to 100, and I wanted to do that, let's say that the chart tells me 4 to 5 weeks. I also want to make sure that I'm staying outside of that 25. After 25 days, at 25 days, your contracts start to feel the burn if they're not already in the money. So it's good to have even a week of cushion. It's never going to be a bad thing with a longer expiration play or a bigger chart to use more time. But okay, so that's my example for longer expirations. For Meta, I would use likely this week's contracts, right? Because the empty space is directly in front of me all the way to 577. I know how Meta moves through its empty space. I know how it falls and rips and how the contracts move as well. So I would lower my risk for something that people would be playing outside of the money. I would buy target-based contracts that expire likely at the end of the week. So that's how two different charts can give me two different forms of expiration. Time decay can be your friend, though. Full port Meta, chill out, Poppy. All right, Nvidia up. Not yet. You got to recover the anytime you have a floor this clean, you have to recover that floor. And even if you look at the 24-hour, you're in between. You are actually, this is a great example. Look, you need this, that's bullish. You need that, that's bearish. You're in between the two. And this is where, like a lot of the times, price will run you for your money. All right. Celsius up. Yes, this one, beautiful trade, by the way, and still holding long. This one is closed at the overhead high. My shares are happy. My longer expiration contracts. And listen, this is even though like Moderna happened, this is one of the best forms of execution, just period, I think I've done. Maybe not this year, but just in a minute, because I told you guys what my plan was when we recovered the floor and closed at the cost basis, that I wanted to swing shorter, cheaper expirations for the $33 strike, because that was where the empty space would lead us. And if that worked out, right, it would pay for the majority of our longer expiration contracts, which are looking for 41, and the trade's already free for me. Even though I still have a decent investment in it, it's free. I can't lose. So it's a beautiful thing. But anyway, yeah, we're looking for this overhead high to break. We want to be above and outside of 34. And ultimately, the gold zone is 35.17 with a big, fat, green, greasy dingus ripping all the way up to 41, baby. Love it. All right. What do we got else? SLGN up. Slogging. Mustard? Who's screaming? Oh, that's Kendrick. Not now, dude. Not right now. Just not in the mood. Give me something else. Mayonnaise. Well, Rap City. Yeah, I already did Lemonade. It'll be on YouTube. That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, look at you guys. Look at that. Nice little box. Multiple bounces off of the bottom. We love that. We like 3 bottoms. 3 bottoms are better than 2. And we got 42.85. The first target overhead would be your green candle close at 44. And the remainder obviously could allow price to lead up. Let's look at the 8. Ooh, the 8 is empty all the way. The price target changes to 43.30 right outside of the box. So you're going to have to pop, break over, grab that floor, and you should be looking at a 45.13 target and maybe some juicy runner action up there as well. Do I look at volume? Never. No volume, no indicators, no nothing. And I have been ripping out 1,000% trades for years now. You can go scroll back on both of my TikToks. You can go look at my free Discord. You can go look at the games we post in there. It's been the same way. So, but yeah, this looks good. It's not bad. It's not bad. He does it raw. I mean, you're not wrong. Are you proud of you, father? I am proud of you, dude. Tony, I wish I could give you a fucking noogie right now. You know, just fucking. Check CRWV. Guys, the requests are flying. I'm going. I promise I'll get to your request. Just keep spamming, I guess, right? That looks bad. I mean, that looks good. Yeah, you got 85.50, but I think you're looking vying for an $80 target underneath you right now. That one's looking rough. That one's looking rough. Yeah, $80 seems like a lie. You're punching down, so underneath 85. Yeah. Appreciate the YouTube videos so people can go back and watch, putting family and friends on too. Let's go, Dustin. Hell yeah. Do you have screeners for stocks? If so, what do you look for? I look for areas of consolidation after long periods of falling or ripping. It's I don't use a scanner though. You're actually watching the scanner at work right now. A lot of I would say probably 50 to 60% of the people in here are experienced users inside of my Discord, and they know exactly what I'm looking for. So we're all scanning collectively. I actually haven't gotten a chance to sit down and scan tonight on my own accord, but I'm going over a lot of the stocks even some of the stocks we were watching last week are still on the watch list. So I'm in CRWV. Oh no. Well, listen, I mean, I'll pray for you. And if something goes wrong, your box up above, and in the future, this will be solid. Listen, over 92, you got a solid little 103 play. Do you live in Nashville? Negative. I live in Georgia, South Georgia, on an island. Not a bad island, just to be clear. It's a perfect island. D local? Is that a stock or is that a sign? I live about 2 hours from Jacksonville. I don't know, an hour. I don't know how, it depends on how fast am I driving, but all right. PLTR up. Okay, so I actually talked about this one, and how important it was to maintain and hold that 179. That is going to be your diagnosis going into this week as well. Price must maintain and hold outside of this box, and if it can, you're looking at an overhead high to break, and that overhead high is going to be right there at 187. If 187 can give way, you have a sweet ass target of 193.44. Knock yourselves out. Also, I mean, ripping up this high on the weekly could imply you've got even bigger dreams of potential all-time highs. So South Georgia on an island. I'm from South Georgia too. There ain't no islands. Must be east. South. Okay, I mean, not like that south. I mean, like Southeast Georgia. Yeah. I'm on the coast. What are we swinging? These. No, I'm just kidding. We're looking for those things right now, brother. Lemonade, Walmart's looking good. Hood with the big ass empty space fill. So this is again going back to the Stwat. It's cool because this one, people were watching in the Discord. I believe a bunch of you guys were able to catch this one. But the box floor right there is 108. You have remaining empty space up to 113. So I do believe this one does have a solid chance to continue its move up and into that 113 area. So this third, oh, hey, hold on. Where's the Discord? It's on my website. When do you take profit? When it hits the ceiling and rejects? Let me give you an example of one of the most perfect profit-taking areas of all time. I mean, just, yes. I mean, once empty space is filled, I am out. And there's always room for runners if there's more consolidation or more empty space above. But outside of that, I am extremely target-based. And I'll give you an example of a 40,000% trade that we took on ANF. And again, going back to the area of consolidation, clean, and trading it up into the box. Took you 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the 5th day, it hits cost basis. Cost basis, by the way, if you're new to my system, is the 50% mark of a box. I've watched so many people on this app using volume profile and not truly seeing what I saw years ago, which is that it is not, I don't even need volume profile anymore. I know that if I see a box of consolidation like this, that 50% mark is either where you reject or it signals a almost 100% guarantee that price will continue moving to the upside, especially at the floors. But anyway, empty space gets filled, I'm out. Price moves fluidly in empty space and then has to fight once it hits structure. So I don't deal with this fighting of the structure. That's where options burn, right? You can actually see that since it filled that up, it went into this just terrible burn. And then the guy was like a pedo or something like that. But all right, St. Simon's, not too far away. Not too far away. Remember to put up or down TNC Travis. Is that Travi? He really does use Indian, use tough as it. Appreciate that. And you guys see the percentages I hit. I'm telling you, you don't need them. People use indicators just for the same reason they use crutches, for the same reason they use, braces, they don't know. Actually, that's not a good example. I take that back, but those are pretty important. I don't use crutches. I just walk on the broken bone. All right, TNC, I don't really see anything on this one other than a floor up above you at 73. You got good consolidation, but nothing there. SSKT, that's not listed here. Drop me another one. PMI for a day trade. Oof, whoa, hey, hold on. Ashley, I don't know if you're going to get the PBS sign off on this one. It's pretty rough. I mean, I guess if you want, is this the stock you're looking at? That's the only one I got. So I say 684. That's no better. Bueno. SSTK Shutterstock. Okay. I got you. Listen, keep dropping your requests. I'm trying to make sure I get to everybody, but I'm not going to give you a half-ass analysis. So what the fuck? What do they do again? Apparently not good. Shutterstock Music Company. What do they do? Unlimited stock photos. Best overall photo books. Nobody does photo better. And royalty-free stock photography. Okay. Yeah, well, that's apparently not a very profitable business at the moment because you are at all-time lows. And brother, I cannot help you when you are at all-time lows and not making a box, right? So you know what, though? I will say this. I would when I see a stock that looks like this, go look at the short volume. Go look at how many shares are short. And if you can do that and you see that it's starting to get to a point where there's no more left, then you can use floors and boxes like this. Absolutely. That is a way to use this strategy. So yeah, I would say maybe like over 630. That's an interesting, it's only interesting because of how much it's fallen. I imagine it's probably pretty aggressively shorted. So I'm going to go over SoFi one time tonight. So feast your hungry eyes. We did get a candle close over that 880, 1880, which we've been talking about forever. However, it was still struggling at the 1912s, which is the only gateway to get to 1978, which is ultimately the only way to get outside of the box. But I do still like it with its low risk, high reward, longer expiration contracts. If it falls that bad, they can kick it out of the S&P 500. I don't know what you're talking. Oh, Shutterstock is in the S&P. Oh, you mean like kick it out of the, yeah, pink sheet it. You said low short percentage. Don't bother. Okay, thank you. Okay. I need to. All right. Delicious. All right. What do we got? Let's kick it up again a little bit. Uber dog water, but it did get a candle close outside of the box. It did successfully punch through the box. It is now touching the floor on the weekly. The 24-hour, I believe, is a box as well. Nope, it's a range, but you do need to get above $80. Period. Point blank simple. $81 and $80 are the two targets. At that point, 84, 83, 85, 83, 85, and the only target I can really give you, because I only operate using empty space, is 91.44. If it punches through there, maybe look for the top of the channel at 108. All right, Potter going to get too popular, won't be able to read the charts. It's getting crazy, man. I mean, you know what you weren't lying. That is a real stock. Oh shit. No. Well, it kind of caught my attention for a second. Let's see. What the hell is this, dude? What is this? Pins has been twerking forever? It's Pinterest, brother. Of course. I think that the only viable way that they get anything is by getting bought out. Yeah, what does this do? dLocal financing technology company. Okay. The weekly isn't as clear as I'd like it to be. Honestly, neither is the monthly, but you do have this massive range. So looking at how it's building at the moment, and that it's been able to, again, hold those overhead highs, I would be looking over the wicks at 1650 for a clear target of 21. Am I banned? Banned? What do you mean? IOVA. It's funny because I'm trying to go in order and I can't do that. Monthly, weekly biopharmaceuticals. Ugh. Even though I just made a bag off of one. Floor got touched on the weekly at 933. Structure and most of that empty space has been filled. So now it's a lot of the times this is when you're going to get your most heinous pullbacks, is if you're unable to hold floors. Those floors are going to be 806. So I think 806 retest. If you fail that, 7. And at that point, you're looking dead in the water there. All right. Tractor Supply to the upside. I think this one it's going to be, listen, this shares probably would have been the better option. But I'm gonna let you know right now, with something like Tractor Supply, go look at how this thing moves. It moves like an old ass tractor. I mean, it's just chugging. It chugs, and those chugs could mean that you come right back down to the damn box that you broke out from. But as of right now, you are still secure above 34.55 and 34.19. If those are lost and you lose 33.80, you will return back to the box for a retest. Trying to call out Disney and it keeps deleting. Make sure to. How do you determine if shares would be better than options? I determine that that's a great question. I determine that by the way the price action moves. Disney is obviously, when it creates empty space, is a good options play, right? But whatever the hell we were just looking at, Tractor Supply, right? Look at how it moves. Now, it's not possible. It's just when you see something go pop, 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 bleh, but like, it's just, we're not getting any solid sustained runs, but it's doing its job, right? So for all of this money that could be, 43 is a solid target. So if this thing did pull back, if you did get one of these, it would honestly be For a shareholder, awesome. So that's how I kind of make that assertion. So Lowe's weekly time frame. I'm going to stay on here as long as I can to try to get as many requests done, but I'm going to try to do these as quickly as possible. Okay, so that definitely looks like a bottom shelf. It's at that bottom shelf at the moment. Let's take a look back. Okay, so the weekly kind of clearing things up for us. Definitely a beautiful area of consolidation on the weekly time frame. Like I did talk about this last week. 226 is the very obvious break point. If you want that one, again, you could send an alert above the wick from Friday and see if you can't take it over that high. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you could be looking even down again if you lose that weekly wick on the low side. Other than that, I mean, I do see opportunity up there. There is empty space up above on the weekly, not so much anywhere else, with potential targets to 270, especially for long holders. But it's not bad. It's in consolidation, so just wait. Yeah, with shares you have more versatility, but you also, for me, when I see, I focus my option buying power into things that I know are going to move well. They're not going to give me I can go look back on the chart and repetitiously see them moving through their pockets of empty space with little to no effort. No, I told people to spam. Yeah, don't get mad. Everybody's but listen, if Ahmed, or anybody else, if you do not put your up or down, I'm not going to take the request. I'm not going to take it. So just joined. Is this on YouTube as well? It will be posted. It'll be posted tonight. It will be posted tonight, Simone. I just had a memory in my mind of the time I got pantsed by a girl named Simone in middle school. It's okay. It's okay. It wasn't okay. Not at the time. It's okay now, though. Everybody gotta do somebody. Everybody gotta do somebody. So this is all going to rely on Bitcoin. The empty space has been filled. The 128.88 breakpoint and candle close above 130 is going to be what we need for that continuation of the upside. It's one line, one price, and right now we need to maintain and hold the 113. I think obviously that would be nice to not even get close to that floor and just build something here, or see Bitcoin obviously keep ripping. If you're navigating this on the 8 hour, you're going to shift that analysis and focus purely on that, because that is going to be the deciding factor. Now you can go hire someone to pants her. I'm not using my money correctly. Are you still jacked from that mRNA trade? You have no idea, dude. You have no idea, especially when the transfer hits the bank account, man. Feels so good. Feels so good. MSTU is better. I don't know, dude. I had 1,000% on that bad boy. It was just fine for me. Path is acting like a little champion. Yeah, not bad. This one's followed the prediction, I believe, out of that box. You guys nailed that one. I believe last time we talked about this one, yeah, it was the weekly, and this thing's just kind of a mess. And so I've simplified this here. 1755 and hold 1563. I think you stick to that and you get over that high 1750, you could start looking at the 2235s. All right. Do your kids know they have a cool dad? My son thinks I'm pretty cool. My daughter she just loves me, Would this be a good example of an equity play? Yeah. Yeah, something like this would be yeah, I mean, I think it could be decent. The monthly looks decent. I don't know what it is. I do know what it is. Never mind. All right, let's keep it moving. Tinker Queen. What is this? Situm Psi Time. Psi Time. Ooh. Deny time. Ooh, you fuck failed. You failed that punchback, which is rare, which means it has low volume. Low trading volume. You broke out from here. You're retesting it. So if you want to get back up, it's going to be a bounce over 636.42 and a reclaim 664.77 in order to get this one back up and out. But it is a candidate to keep driving down potentially, and I think the next low would be likely around that 372. So interesting. Dell down. Do you do calls or also puts? I do whatever is necessary to make money, brother. So there are downside opportunities that I take. Yes. This looks like a good lower time frame day trade opportunity. Nothing more, nothing less. On the higher time frame, it's a big ball of difficult situations. But you do got a great little trade over that 445 up to these wicks and candle closes around 462 and 457. All right, keep it moving here. INTC up. All right, let's see, iCup. Very good. Okay, sneaky floor over here to your left. You closed at that floor, which means that you're likely going down further. And that new low would likely be the box you pushed through in the first place. So I would say right now, look for a bounce off at 87.80, 87.73. And if that fails, you're probably going to continue going down. Holland went bald. Now it's your turn. I'm not too far, dude. Look at right here. Starting a little thinning. Also got quite a few gray hairs. You can't see them in this light, but I got them. Should I do every dividend stock? Is it a method? Nah. Some are better than others, brother. Potter, which plan on your site will make you my kid's godfather? Yo, what the fuck? Would I advise to buy mRNA now? Some of my I mean, I can't really point you in the direction of mRNA, brother. I mean, there is still maybe upside potential. But I think that other stock healthcare providers could be a better choice. Now with mRNA, the floor that I never thought we would hit, but 170 and 186 are the next signals to move to the upside. So Potter knows who Holland is. Didn't know he had these kinds of game. Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah, I moved away, guys. Life-changing. I could cry. All right, Tesla looked good for a gap fill. Can I get your opinion? I thought that said J2 Fish, but that says J2 Fresh. My bad, Jay. Excuse my illiteracy. Not much left, okay? So this is where stuff gets difficult. See, price doesn't have too much trouble moving through that empty space. And the floor target that you have on the 24-hour is quite simply here, right? And that's what we're already getting into that territory with the wicks touching. But obviously like 370. This is going to require, if you want more, right? Your eyes are needed. Pay attention. This is where it happens. Range. Empty space, 375.75. So this gives you a little bit of leeway to pop up and grab the floor. You must do that. If you can, you have a very, very intriguing target of 390. And I'll leave it at that. But I listen, folks. I'm going to say this again. Knock yourselves out. But I want to trade coming out of a box. This has already made most of its move. Yesterday or last week, 350 would have been a great target. You know, a retest at 335.50. That would have been a great retest. But yeah, nothing. All right. Thank you guys for the gifts, by the way. You guys don't have to do that. I appreciate it, but you don't have to. PDD down. I'm not going to sit here and say that this has an incredibly intriguing setup that's making me feel like it could go down. I think if anything, you have this overhead high that you're fighting with, and you have this underneath floor here even that you could come and retest. So until levels like that are lost, or maybe some sort of news, this is likely to drop, are likely to bounce. And if it loses that, then maybe, yeah, you could look for a move down into like the 7850s, but it's just not a great setup. Potter, I set up for the yearly. Loved watching and learning last week. Dude, let's go, man. Make sure to ask lots of questions, especially after you go through that Potter box. And then for those of you guys who did sign up, you're in luck, because while you're going to be going through this, I'm going to be doing another class towards the end of September, beginning of October. And I'm gonna hopefully get all of those people who are brand new. Boy, I'm gonna go crazy on this workshop. I'm gonna really sink my teeth in. We're gonna have classes specifically just for questions and tests. So, all right, let's see here. Purr, the hell's that? Meow. Hyper liquid strategies. I've heard of this somewhere. Where have I heard of this? So I can't really offer anything much now, right? I definitely could have offered you something, here that was great. And then right now it looks like this. So let's move down to the 8 hour. I'm sure we'll find. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Problem solved. Me problem solver. Me good at it. Okay, so here's the story. See that floor right there? All that mass? You rejected it. What are you doing now? Holding it. So, and look how much you had to fight to do that. So you need to get over the 50% mark of that. And it is a range, not a box. So the overhead high. Trump endorsed purr at a meeting. Did he actually purr though? Because if he didn't, I'm not going to buy it. They only purr for my secretary. Let's see here. RX. Why do I feel like this one's going to piss me off? Okay, not as maddening as I thought it would be. Oh, yeah. I have no idea. All right. I think he woofed. I will say this. There is a couple of things, and it's just so much. You have a big ass box here. So good job on the 3 bounces off the top. You can start looking towards that overhead high, but you will have to go one after another in order to start moving up into... I've never barked for anybody. I never will. Can't make me bark. Unless you were that baddie from that green and black lady from Kim Possible. What's up? Back in the day, dude. You could have had me on the leash. Get Peyton. If I barked at Peyton, dude, she would probably choke me with a leash. But what the are you doing? All right, I already did Hood. ABGO is a highly requested one here. Wee. Now, I did say that this one was, it's got that pressing overhead and it was going to make it difficult, but you did resiliently stick your face right back up. And while you didn't reclaim anything, you did hold that same range that we have before. So like I said, either glorified retest or you're fighting for it, right? So even that wick right there and getting pulled back in, you haven't fallen, which does show that there is quite a bit of strength here. So I would say the same analysis as before, a 2 hour, 1 hour candle outside of 370. Am I drinking? No. Hair's looking majestic. Thank you, brother. Feel like I'm in a L'Oreal commercial. It's getting a little bit much, but now winter's coming, so I might as well keep it. Might grow it out until... Oh, AMD. Yes, let me help you. Did you do it wrong? What do you think? Did you do it wrong? Let's see, 24 hour. What time frame? Finally, another circular glasses enthusiast. Let's go. And I come in many different shades. The Studious and Potter if he sold packs of that Heron. You know what I mean? All right. Are we focused on regular shares options when looking at price action? It depends on the setup, but I'm primarily focused on options. However, I do very much play equity and take my profits and put them into places where I know my money is going to work for me. And this year has been the best. Target, yeah, somebody just mentioned Target. Target was one of the best. We got a below $90 fill. It was like 89.85 for me. And if you've seen Target, it's ripped. So anyway, yeah, this is maybe not the box down below, right? You had kind of a box, but this one up above is for sure. So all right. Newbie question. Wait, hold on. Oh, I did. You got that one. Okay. How's crowd looking? That's a good little lower time frame bounce. Ooh. Oh shit, I didn't even look at that one. Maybe a little dead cat. I think you could see a little dead cat, maybe back up to 199, but we're gonna have to do a little bit deeper analysis. We can't just say dead cat. It's like Shortener's cat, you know? If you don't look at it, it's not. Never mind. All right, 4 hour time frame. We need to see very simply. Oh, you know what? I love when the chart tells me exactly. See that right there where you get held down? See that right there where you get held down and then when you pop up, you explode? That's going to be the same overhead high that needs to be crossed. That's 194. And you can see that as well on the 2 hour. However, the 2 hour is going to give us a little hint, right? I think. Ooh, there it is. So you have a small range right in front of you. That's where price is fighting against. Let's go to the 30. All right, again. So let's get a 30-minute candle above 192 and outside of 192.77. And at that point, you'd be looking for price to go up to 194.90 and start moving through this, unfortunately, this next range, looking at 196.63. But again, you know, sector strength needs to be in this direction. For a box, does it have to bounce top, bottom, or vice versa? It doesn't matter. One can actually, you know, lead to one having 3 on the top. If you have 3 on the top and 2 on the bottom, you're likely going to pull back down and then pop back up. If you have 2 off the bottom and then are 2 off the top and 3 off the bottom, then you have strength if you cross cost basis. So, all right. Am I still holding Target? Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Still holding Target. That one, I didn't see what I closed at. I didn't look at it. I'm up 83.92% on Target shares. Elf is up 58%. Rivion's only up 40%. Cart's up 2%. CRISPR's down 1.5%. Roku's up 66%. Celsius, I'm down 10% on that one. And then I have DNUT shares that have been buying, and those are only down 9%. So small positions on the DNUT. I got a fuck ton of Target, a fuck ton of Elf. I got a pretty massive position in Cart. A massive position in Cart. Yeah, it's one of my bigger positions. Not biggest, but bigger. I like it. Trying to get some of that money back from all the Instacarting I do. All right, I did make sure everybody watches the YouTube video tonight. All right. GDXJ. I'm already in 100, but as a gap to fill. Yeah, okay, so this one does, it's going to follow a gold. I mean, that one's pretty simple, right? I don't remember charting this one, but it does look like this overhead high here is where you met. And then I see virtually, I don't really see anything up at the top. Okay, there it is. I got a good price target of 151.12. And then you have another overhead high to clear this week that I think will be important at 136.30. Finally up 16% on Celsius. Lucky. I did meta, yes. Shack up with the dead candle. Yeah. Hey, that's cool. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I did say this one looked good. All right, yeah, it didn't look bad. So floors are getting recovered here. We got step one, we got step two up here. But more or less, the way that it fell. And the cool thing about it is, again, if you kind of, just get rid of everything and focus on what's in front of you. And it's just as simple as marking out, the floors with points of contact. Those two floors, 77, 79, 85. I think Meta is going to have a lower time frame pop up to potentially 765. But make sure to watch the YouTube video back. What's my target on cart? Long-term wealth, brother. I'd like to see it in the hundreds, 150s. FCX upside. Let's say stay-at-home mother of 5. Oh, girl. Team Mama. Look at you. Look at you. Stay-at-home mama 5 learning how to make them bands. I love to see it. I absolutely love to see it. I don't know if you're already in it, but and I wish I could obviously help more. Let's see, is it all-time highs? Yes, it's all-time highs. So that's the only area where I have no edge. I have 0 edge, and I either take it while it's in the box or I don't. But something like this, I look for psychological numbers, Fibonacci. That's what you can do. It's not live on YouTube. It will be posted on YouTube shortly after this live. Yes. Oh, thank you guys for more gifts. I didn't even see that. Tacos. Cool. Any other creators you recommend checking out as well? Yes. TTI is probably the #1 creator I would recommend for you. The Trading Initiative, if you're looking for him anywhere else. In fact, it'd be cool if you guys would maybe go drop him a follow. And I really think... All right. That's enough. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. Anything other... Who said I wanted that? When did I say that was okay? Why? And why so loud? Pull my motherfucking eardrums out like that, boy. What the fuck? Oh, you're in that, Sim Sam? Yeah. Yeah. What the fuck is ACOM, dude? Just put AC. What is this? What is this? Hey, Ben. Father, can you hear me? Up to me. I make you the pavement. Yeah, 67. Recover it. I'm going to leave it at that because that's literally big buns. That's big buns, yeah. All right, Dram. Crunchy. You know what I would do too is I would also go through and look at what's inside of this fund. I think that would be worth it. I don't know how I feel about the channel that I just drew. I don't know how I feel about it. Let's do the 24-hour again. So what do we got? Okay, that makes sense. That's the overhead target. I'd say right now, maybe a long ways from happening, but you need this maybe to pop up into that. But I don't feel great about that analysis. So I dirtied into Tesla. I thought about coming back to the Discord. That's up to you, brother. Of course, man. Just don't show that thing you showed last time, okay? It scared everybody. MU twapped in a wange. Computer. Take this off my watch list. Yeah, that's not great actually that you rejected that previous overhead high 8 hour time frame. Mm. Okay, so here's the deal. And it's actually pretty clean. You see the box underneath you? 4 hours probably going to clear that up. Beautiful. There it is. So 940 must hold. 940 must hold, or I would say 890 is a likely target. And then if you're looking for the upside, folks, you must absolutely pop that overhead high from Friday. And then your first target would be 10 11. This is where you need to see outstanding price action. So price action, sector rotation, movement into this area. And you do have the potentiality to get back up to 11 12. 8:30 is when I go live. Here for the life lessons, stock seconds. Remember, Kima, remember what Grandpa used to tell us? Never pee in the wind. Never pee facing the wind. Oh, you don't pee facing the wind, dude. Definitely missed the SoFi lemonade. Chris, that's okay. It'll be on YouTube, brother. All right. Silver, I have a target to 64. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Cam. I'm up big on my leaps right now, but yeah, I've got 65 in my sights right now, brother. How do I pick stocks? You're watching me right now, dude. I'm literally doing it right now. I'm also going to add to my watch list tonight. Got some work to do on that. So SMR. I didn't do any charting before this. So again, not a empty space opportunity unless you're looking up away the up there. And this may be an area. Let's look at the weekly. It might be an area to look into shares, but let's simplify this because a lot of the times feel like people overcomplicate something like this, and there's just no need. Okay, so I can say on the weekly there is a positive note. You are trying to hold on to 911. Never forget. I think this is definitely looks like a share play. The way the price action's moving in here, but this is going to be your biggest concern. Getting over $10, or $10 is going to be a main overhead, and then you'll look at 1160 as that next target. But I again, when I'm picking stocks, it's always based off of my strategy. Acceptable spreads. Can I explain what acceptable spreads? For my contracts, depends on the cost. If it's an expensive contract, it could be up to $50 to $45. If it's a contract under $50, I don't want anything more than a $10 to $15 spread typically. I might be able to play it, but based on what strategy? It's a strategy I invented. It's called the Potterbox strategy. I dubbed it a couple of years ago. But it's a focus on areas of consolidation. Now, this is a terrible example of that because it's illiquid. It doesn't have a lot of volume. It's traded by computers. But actually, while we're looking at it computer-wise, you'll actually see that when volume is removed, right, the meat of the strategy or what gives volume, doesn't make them look like robots. You'll actually see how they hold price in these areas of consolidation. And then when the 50% mark of that box is broken after losing the box floor, so you build a box, lose the floor, and then when that price pops up and breaks the 50% mark, you're promised a new high. Now, again, for this, I also look for empty space that looks very similar to this, but because of its lack of liquidity, it's not going to move through it like a Meta or a Tesla or something of that nature. So I focus on high conviction, high volume stocks when it comes to trading shorter expiration options, and add time as I get into lower volume options. I'm sure I will have an example to show you here shortly. Yes. Lemonade. This is an example of a setup that I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for price to push through the box, break the overhead, and move up into the first area of consolidation to its left, right? And I'm doing this with shorter-ish expirations, so that way I can play out of the money, decrease my risk and position size while still having enough contracts. And with knowing how empty space moves and knowing how lemonade moves, it's a pretty sweet little setup. All right. All right. Get your wand and toy. Whoa, hang on. Your man on the mission couldn't taking me back. The man on the mission was taking me back. I don't like Oracle with its lack of conviction. It's got a channel on a lower time frame, I believe, that could be building. You know, if you go up here and you hit the top, it's only strong volume that's going to keep you ripping. And it may be that you are developing a box, and I would assume so at the moment. But I also, you know, could say that there's evidence that price is building a channel, right? And you can see that off of the lows as well. So if that's true, then you may be looking eventually back down into this gap fill at 128, and possibly, you know, support floor. So I've already done SPY, IWM, QQQ, and Tesla, which is all on YouTube. Do I run spreads? Not often, not a ton. I'm not doing typically anything like that. Let's see here. MMM sitting at a 173 floor. I haven't looked at that one in a while. Okay. So that is a box that did lose its floor. That could also be a candidate for a downside if it fails to reclaim it. You've got a range underneath you, just like that. So 182.21 is what you're looking for. This will be on YouTube. Yes, I have pants on, dude. They're crazy, but I got pants on. Pants on, dude. I don't wear no pants when I'm streaming, dude. You never know. And if my pants are working correctly, you shouldn't have seen my legs anyway. Did you say gyat? Hold on, Jello. That's why I always sit down. Icy pants, fam. Thank you. All right, let's see. TVTX. Travene therapy. Oh boy, that sounds like it's gonna piss me off, boy. What the fuck? What is this? Oh. Oh. Great heavens. Okay, actually, you know what? I'll shut my mouth. I don't know what the hell this is, and it was very clearly probably paper traded or on the pink sheets, or I don't know where it was, but dude, this thing, it does have a shit ton of empty space. It is this liquid piece of crap. So I'd split that in half, and you know, maybe you can get into that's $100. So it's tough to call for that move, but I mean, technically speaking, that is the empty space above it. A lot of the times when the empty space is this wide, I'll even split that in half. So I did Walmart already, guys. It'll be on YouTube, okay? I did Marvel already. Since when do you get beeped? I've had that on for a while. Had that on for a year, or 6 months, something like that. I don't know. I don't keep track with these things. All right. Pizza up. I've traded that once before. Papa John's. Damn, boy, they're getting fucking faded. Oh my god. Oh my. Free falling. Wow. Okay. I mean, you did make empty space. You did not hang on to the floor, but if you okay, so very simple. Very simple, right? And I don't know if this thing's a straight, bouncer, but you got to get over you got a 24-hour box here. It's very small. It's in fact I'd almost classify this one as a range, but yeah. Dude, futures are starting to peel up a little bit, y'all. I don't know if anybody's watching futures right now, but they're up at the overhead high on the 4 hour. NQ is 29 485.50. It's pushed up against. Does your thumb hurt? Then use your pointer. We're almost to 50K. Oh shit! Yeah, you guys almost have tapped the screen. Damn. Can you count down from 10 slowly? I see a gap at 1093, but this would be a candidate for a reversal back outside of 1150. Lemonade and Walmart are still on the watch list. I don't think I've added anything. No. Not individual equity wise. There hasn't been anything crazy. Upstart weekly. Yeah. Yeah. Over 3481, but with a weekly candle close on top of 32, I would feel really confident in that. You got a great bounce this last week to potentially, drive up to 44 and maybe up to 63. Yeah, I'll put that one on the watch list. Yeah, I already went over this one, but I'll just quickly go over it again. It's inside of a lower time frame box. We're looking for an initial pop out. 565 would be the first. Well, technically 559 and 565 would be two targets above us. Thank you guys for 50K. You guys are awesome. Okay, well, you know what? You are building. Keep it simple. You gotta be over 242. You have to in order to make this work. So maintain and hold the 232.75s, which is the floor that you're currently at right now. And you got this weird like box phenomenon happening right now, but outside of 240 would be good. Guys, I have a very small watch list. It's also my chill week where I'm more or less looking to help you guys. I'm hoping lots of people are speaking this week about what they're getting into or what they're not doing. So I'm mostly here to help you guys this week. I honestly can't believe how much money I've made over the last 2 weeks, and I'm on chill mode right now. Absolutely diabolical comment. What's your best buy this week? Lemonade and Walmart are on my watch list, but speaking of, let's look at Best Buy. PayPal over 62.63 for a $65 target. Sorry. Best Buy? Why you look like that? Why do you got empty space all the way to 108? Do we think that Grand Theft Auto? I don't think so. I don't know. That's kind of a long shot. That's outside of my expertise. 9131 target 107. That's not actually a bad setup, and I know nobody asked for that, but that's worth setting an alert on because that's a shit ton of empty space. I'm not going to get into that right now, but make sure you set an alert on that one. Weekly candle engulfment, which is likely a range candle. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not a very clean setup on the higher time frame. And now I can see it actually a little bit better. Damn. Premium sub. Premium sub. Premium sub. A premium meatball sub right now sounds so good. Any meatball fans out there? Meatball sub fans? You have a strong bloodline if you do. You're gonna have to play this one lower time frame. You're gonna have to play the little cogs, little gears. With some good marinara, hell yeah. Yeah, this is the way. Don't eat pork, bro. Meatballs are made out of beef most of the time, not pork. I don't eat pork very often. Me no liking pork as much anymore. Okay. At Subway, it's pork. Oh yeah, well I don't do that. Me no do that. You got to be kidding me. The store right next to my house sells a meatball blast, which is a totally inappropriate name for a meatball sub. Meatball blast. That's what I call it. That's what I told her. That's a good pickup line right there. Hey, can I take you out for a meatball blast? Silver is ripping? Hell yeah. All right. Started watching the YouTube videos to learn before jumping in. 10 out of 10. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Keep asking questions. Keep locking. Sheet file, restraining order. Fair enough. Fair enough. How about TSM? How about it? How about them apples? Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not seeing anything, and I'll go scan tonight, but nothing that has been, a couple of them have been okay. But a lot of stocks still need to do something, or they're already ripping. 430. 430 is a lower time frame box you're going to need to punch through. See how I saw that before I saw it? Look at that. 430. Bam. Over 435. And then, I mean, it's a big, fat, stupid range, but remember, guys, what sectors can be weak, okay? And if there is little volume in the chips right now, dude, there's a lot of fear in chips, okay? So reassuring news or something of that nature would be helpful to keep that on time. 330. 330 at what time? Wait, what are we talking about? 330 when? What'd I say? Weed up to... Wait, are we serious? Okay, fair enough. I like how they named it. I just said it right out. Does not have a lot of liquidity, baby. Nice little channel, though. This is a wicked little setup, dude. Okay, so I'm not going to say that and not a lot of this is adherent to what I do, but right now you are looking up towards 24.45, and ultimately, I mean, 26.85 and maybe even $30 could be on the radar. I mean, it's not a bad, terrible setup. What game is this? It's the money game, baby. I got the cheats. XPVE. It's always the most random shit to get this thing up and going, so... I don't like that one at all. I'd rather fucking pull my teeth out. But, I mean, one could make a case for a return to 1732 or at minimum the floor of 15. The problem is you just really don't have any solid structure here. You know, I'd say maybe $13 being broken over to 1335. The probability increases more. It's just not a good setup. So 6:30 p.m. Oh, 3:30 someone. No, 6:30. Okay, hello up. I've been live for an hour and 30 minutes. Holy hell. And I have not hardly seen anything. I mean, this is going to be included in that, right? There's just no box and no empty space. That's all I'm looking for, guys. I want that. You know, that would have been fire. Shit, probably something in there would have been fire, but like this one is dead slap. I mean, and maybe if you can build a solid box on this one, but yeah, you got that weekly range. You've got the 24-hour, which is just staggered everywhere. You've got boxes everywhere and directly above you and directly. So that one shoots up. So yeah, you got a long process here, starting with 44.22 or underneath 40.88. Stupid. Greetings from Belgium. Oh, hell yeah. How about JetBlue? Did we fly to 650? I mean, that is a stark refusal of the monthly floor at 650. And you have 7 days to pull off a ridiculous reversal. And it's not impossible. So let's talk about it. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. It is fucked, but it is empty and it is lower time frame. So let's do this step by step, because I tell you what, you're going to need it. You're going to need it. Starting with step 1, which it looks like you've been able to somewhat accomplish. You're looking at that 490 floor to be recovered. We're going to move to the 2 hour because this is going to be easier there. You see this small range? We're going to want to step over $5 flat, and that's going to be big enough by itself, but you'll be immediately met with this volume here. So it'll be a step-by-step process where you're hoping to roll enough volume to blow through that and to move up into 560, which is really all I can call for there. Have you tried using AI instead of TradingView Screener? I don't use a screener at all. Sometimes I use AI, but I don't use it a lot. I believe my discretion is superior at the moment. Did you go over SoFi for the week? I did. Yep, I went over Circle. Does Zoom look good on the monthly for earnings? Very seldomly this thing will rip, and it's always mind blowing. You know, obviously when it does, but the rips are always short lived. And as far as the monthly is concerned, I mean, you are, and I don't want to, say it's impossible because it's not, but you are near levels that price has previously pushed off of or even been held down before. And while, yes, there is a shit ton of empty space, I think there's, it's kind of tough to justify Zoom, for anything more than an equity purchase, if an exploratory one. But ultimately, it is going to be over 115 and outside of 123.32. So he uses humans for screening. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I did AVGO already. McDonald's. Oh, they made me an unhappy meal the other day, but it did get a weekly bounce there. That's not bad. So this one does have quite a bit of upwards potential. And you see the 1, 2, 3 multiple bounces here, and that in itself is pretty solid. But what really draws my attention, or what really pulls me in to potentially take it, would be the recovery of the floor here at 272.25. Then you can actually see the wicks kind of pushing up into that area and failing. So getting up and through that would be step one to getting McDonald's up and out. And then this is possibly an equity purchase as well, looking at that 320. But you also have to look underneath you where you have just as much empty space and vulnerability. So what makes empty space? Fast price action, fast price action, fast price action. Anything that moves quickly is going to create these pockets, these voids of empty space. And oftentimes these voids are guarded, right, by volume, or guarded by structure. And if you can make it through that structure, the 50% of it, typically you'll fill that by disturbing and utilizing the volume, distributing the volume held within the boxes. So we like those boxes that break into pockets of empty space. It's not like a fair value gap. Because fair value gaps have rules outside of them. And it always brings me back to a Mara trade that I was in years ago when I actually had somebody who used ICT inside of my Discord. But this one, he mentioned to me that I needed to get out here because the trade was going to end, or it even could be here. And I told him that I was going to trade this one to the floor, and maybe even all the way up into 25. And I actually ended up making around $26,000 off of that trade. So I don't subscribe to any of the ICT concepts. I never use them to develop this strategy. All I care about it on higher time frames is that price has fallen or moved rapidly in one direction. And one thing that bothers me about ICT is apparently his strategy is so good that when he goes to the Robbins Cup every year, he blows his account. And I just don't understand how people can look at that and make it their guru. The only way that they could look at that is because other people have taken a failing strategy that makes you feel smart, and they sell it the idea that they're making millions off of it, when in reality they're making that money off of subscriptions and off of mostly affiliate codes. So I really I don't fuck with it. That's just how I feel. All right, EQT, UQT. It's a good jam right there. EQT. Not such a cutie. Gross. That the air would bring to the end of Lynn Town. I did SoFi many times. Tesla, I did Tesla. It's all on YouTube. I'll be posting that YouTube video immediately after this live, which I've been live for about an hour and 40 minutes. So we're going to be slowing this down here in just a second. Try one. And I'll be live tomorrow morning at 8 or 8:30 to get you guys started. Come in. Stay off the camera, okay? Over here. What's up, sweetie? Hi. Mm-hmm. You want chicken bone broth? You want chicken bone broth? That is a very wild and odd request. I'll be off in just a minute, and then we'll find some food for you. It's good for your bones, but stuff. All right. I'll be out in a little bit. I love you, baby. Okay, get your water and make sure you take your water upstairs to your room, okay, so you're ready to go. Or a drink out of my fridge, if you'd like one. There's the strawberry or the clementine. No, don't take the whole fridge. No, baby. The watermelon or clementine. No, ma'am. You may not have a coffee cold brew drink. What are you thinking? Baby, you can have the vanilla bean. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Aaron. Hey. I'm almost done. Okay, I'll be off in a minute, okay? Alrighty. See you later, Bones. Ironically, chicken broth is chicken bones. Yeah, you're lying. Go ahead. I did do Hood. Yes, I looked at Hood. I looked at Walmart. I may have looked at Tempest already. No, I haven't. Good God. Yeah, you need to go find those counterparts. But yeah, what a wonderful rip. This one has met its next resistance here at this box, which is 75.50 with a cost basis of 75.80 and with a next target potentially up to the 85.34 area. Potter is a papa? Yeah. I've got two kids. I've got a 12-year-old and I've got a 12-year-old and I've got a 7-year-old. Yo, you guys are going crazy tapping your screen. I really do appreciate it very much, guys. You guys are awesome. And you lose. Always comes down to. Hey. I talked about this one. Hey. Hi, babe. Oh my. Now I like that. Can anybody tell me? I think bro looks so young. I'm 35, brother. 34, I'm sorry. That one's getting written down. That one, I'm writing that one down. That one is getting written down. Now, why would I write this one down, guys? Because there's empty space on both sides. There's high-falutin ass tension. There's a 50% range underneath us where we're being held down underneath that range. And I think on the 2 hour, that becomes the whole range, which still has you at cost basis. You have a potential punch down underneath here, under 1526 for a run down to 1475. Make my soup. All right. Well, I'd be happy to do that. Yes. Ellie wrote me a note on a piece of foam. Make my soup. Let's see here. My well, my God, dude. Guy I used to know used to trade the shit out of this thing. Hey, now I got to hold on with 95 cents. That actually doesn't look bad. Big news on Amazon drone delivery. Did they get the approval for that? I'm gonna keep my eye on this one. I've traded it before, but it could be a candidate to and I don't think we can see it yet. I think maybe go to 130. I don't know how I feel about that one. That one looks like a pain in the ass, dude. But yeah, maybe a squeeze or something would help. You said zoom all the way out. Yeah, dude. I think it gets worse. I mean, one day, yeah, I guess, hopefully looking for something like this. $3 target. You know what? It's 80 cents, such low risk, cheap position. You could maybe set a stop loss at like 75 cents or something, but it's rough. All right, let's see. SMCI. That one has some decent consolidation. Only a few candles here, 24. That one actually could go drive down if it loses that floor of 36, but it's got some good tension here. Floor up above, floor down below, and you're wedged in between the two of them. All right. What was that? All right, baby. All right, I'm going to do a few more requests and I'll see you guys in the morning, all right? I got to get my kids to bed and ready for school tomorrow. Peyton's also sick, by the way, so I'm going to have to do double duty here. She picked up whatever I had. Hopefully she's better by the morning, but 740 needs to break on this one. Critical metals, we need a bigger view. That's actually not bad. It's a weird setup, but it's a good one. You've got a good floor here that you're trying to recover. You've got a good little empty space pocket up into the wick and basically 950. And then, I mean, these are all really clean signals. It's just a matter of getting to them. Yeah, it doesn't look bad to go touch 917. I did look at you. She won't do the garlic. She won't do the garlic like I do. Shit. 1 second. Second. Okay. All right, guys. I thought it said delivered. I don't know, maybe. All right. We'll do one more, and I gotta go. Ooh, NQ's turning red. 3 rejections at the top. Ooh. Let's see if it goes all the way down. Might see a dump overnight if this thing loses that floor. If you lose that 29, 25, 250, you got a 29, 130 to go. mRNA is over, brother. I'm out of that. Spotify could be good. You're sitting above that 525, and then you're just sitting right at this overhead. So if you can pump out the top, pause. I think I'd be looking for the 50% mark of that range up above you, which would be around 586. So, all right, folks. I'm gonna go take care of the. What's up, buddy? I gotta go take care of the kids here, get them ready for school, and help Peyton. So I did do Tesla. I'm gonna post this as soon as I get it off on YouTube. So make sure you guys check that out. And we'll see if we can add anything to the watch list possibly tomorrow. But I think I'm gonna focus maybe on taking a little bit into Meta. So we'll see how that one works. But y'all have a great night. Get some good rest. I'll see you guys in the morning. All right. Peace.